Hey, what's up, cats? Come on in, make yourself comfortable. Today I thought I would talk a little bit about the pros and cons of having a mate and adverse to being single. Now, a little bit of my history. I'm looking back to when I was like 17 years old. I think that's when I had my first real girlfriend. And from that point on, I've always had a partner. I've had numerous girlfriends. I was, married twice, and always had a female in my life. Always. So, uh, for those of you that don't know, I lost my wife in November, which is about 8 months ago, and life's been quite a bit different because now I'm living the life as a single person. So there's a lot of big differences, there. Now, to be totally honest, my first marriage was 25 years, and then my marriage to V was like 20 years. So, yeah, in that period of time, there were points in my relationship where I said to myself, I would much rather be single because you just get to these points sometimes where you have to compromise. I mean, the two of you are basically becoming one. You're bonding together. So everything you do together. Not so much physically, but you live your life together. So, it's not always easy to make that compromise. There's going to be times where you just are like, I don't want to do this. This is not what I want to do, or but you're in a situation where you want to compromise as well. Now, and I'm not saying that this was my thought all the time. It just comes up occasionally in a relationship. In a 25-year marriage, yeah, there's going to be times when you say, "Boy, I'd much rather be single than deal with this kind of crap." Because times get tough in a relationship. They always do. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. On the other hand, though, now that I am single, I have second thoughts about that. And I almost have to say they kind of balance each other out to a degree. But there was a lot of benefits to having a partner or being married. It's nice to have somebody that you can be around, that you can depend on, that you can uh, receive love from, and that just means a whole lot. That just it's just it's something that people need. Being single, though, I no longer have someone in my box that can offer me that anymore. So it can become very lonely at times. Very lonely. I'm in this big house here, all by myself, and it gets really quiet. Now, I've learned in the time of her passing since then, I've learned that by staying occupied, by staying busy, by being social with people, helps me a lot. Because it gives me that social connection that I need, that the people that I can, be around, and that's important to a single life. I mean, you can't just become a hermit and uh, I think it would be very depressing, not to engage yourself in any kind of social behavior. When I had my partner, though, especially when I had V, I didn't have a big need for a social life other than doing things with her. She filled my needs, my desires. She uh, made me very comfortable, and I never even gave it a second thought, that I wanted to be involved in any other extracurricular social activities because I was comfortable here with her. Uh, so, yeah, the pros and cons, I think, kind of weigh themselves out in a way. As a single guy now, one of the big benefits of being single is freedom. Now, I don't know if I'd call it self-centered or selfishness, because I'm put into this position. It wasn't by choice. Uh, and being in this position, though, I can come and go as I please. I don't have to answer to anybody. I can jump on my bike and take off whenever I want and go wherever I want. I can, come home and eat whatever I want whenever I want. I don't have a rigid schedule to go by. So I appreciate that. I like that freedom. I would say the biggest drawback to being single, though, is the loneliness. Missing my wife and missing that companionship that we had, that bond, the love that we shared together. I miss that deeply, very deeply, and I probably always will. But it's just something that I have to get used to at this time. Now, some of you are probably wondering, are you going to go out and find somebody else, Itchy? Right now, I have no desire to do that. Uh, I can't explain why. I just feel like I lost the best thing that I had, and I don't think that I can just run out and replace that. It's just not going to happen. And I guess that's kind of my deep feeling right now, that I'm just going to let things ride and just deal with life as it comes right now. So, that's kind of where I stand today. Uh, the the benefits of being married are great. Uh, we always had a plan every day, and that's the other thing for me to, like today. I don't have anything on my schedule today. It's just kind of a dead day. It's kind of gray outside. It's not raining, but it's supposed to rain later today. So what do I do? I can go on a bike ride, but if you're going all by yourself, unless you have something particular you're going to do, it's it's not the same. When you don't have a partner to do that with. Even getting in the taking my camper somewhere, my RV trailer, and going camping somewhere. It's not the same when I'm by myself. It's like what it's like sitting there twiddling my thumbs. I got nobody to talk to, nobody to eat with, nobody to go exploring with. It just kind of takes the punch out of it. So, in a marital relationship or with a partner, it's enjoyable to go do things to explore together. We'd go up to Lake Erie and walk the beach together, and that was fun. But for me to go up there and walk the beach by myself seems like a very lonely thing to do, and I can't see myself doing that now. But when she was with me, it was a wonderful thing to do. So yeah, there's a big difference in being single and having a partner. Huge difference. Which one's better? You know, I don't think you can really come out and say that. There's a lot of people that have no choice but live single, and it's just something you get used to, and you can still enjoy life. Um, I've been able to do all kinds of. not just, I mean, when I used to ride on my Harley, I used to always go riding with my one buddy. That was it. Him and I, him and I, him and I. Now I have multiple persons or groups that are constantly inviting me to ride with them. So I'm doing a lot more riding and with more diverse crowd too. So, I've ridden with some clubs. I've ridden with some friends. I've ridden just me and another buddy. So it's enjoyable to be able to do that. Uh, and then living here single, it's things like my property upkeep, my yard, my flower garden, my vegetable garden. Uh, it's overwhelming, the workload for me to take care of it. Not to mention all the housework that I do in here to keep the place up. It stays pretty clean for the most part, but I do have two cats, and cats do make a mess. I mean, this morning I cleaned up 3 cat barfs on the floor, which I don't enjoy doing. So there's upkeep that has to be done. There's jobs that need to be done around here. I have to mow the lawn. My garden, though, I made this beautiful vegetable garden. What do I do with all that stuff? I don't have anybody to help me prepare it, to cook things, to eat the things. So I have all these garden vegetables that I barely put a dent in. I mean, I'm eating them every day, but I can't possibly keep up with the production that comes out of that garden. It's impossible for me to eat that much. But it is enjoyable and it is delicious. Nothing like garden vegetables. They just have all the flavor in the world. Uh, Nothing like the stuff you would buy at this grocery store. So there's some other drawbacks to being single. Will I continue to have a vegetable garden? Probably, because I love having garden tomatoes, and I made my jalapeno poppers this year and I love those, and I put a bunch in the freezer so over the winter I can pull them out and enjoy them too, throw them in the air fryer. So yeah, there's still benefits to having a garden. I just don't know if I would plant as much as I have in the past. The flower garden, it's enjoyable for me to see. It's beautiful, but I have nobody to share it with. So, but yet I don't want to let it go in the weeds either. So, and it does give me an activity that I can do. It does give me a purpose. And every once in a while I'll get guests to stop over to, visit, to see me, to hang out together. And it's enjoyable for me to share that with them. Well, see there, the sun just came out again, and I'm really thinking about getting on the bike. I mean, I don't care if I get wet. They said it wouldn't rain till later this afternoon, so when's that? And it may not even rain anyway, so, and I guess that's part of the adventure. I do have to ride up to the VFW today, so, and pick up some things, so I do need to do that and take care of that. But other than that, I don't have a plan today. Well, those were my thoughts for today, and I thought I'd share them with you. And I mean, I could talk about this all day because there's all kinds of little issues that pop up in adverse to being single from having a partner. Yeah, there's all kinds of things, all kinds of differences. But I guess the bottom line is I think they kind of tend to weigh each other out in the long run. Well, thanks for watching. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and continue to watch these videos and join me. And I appreciate your support. Till next time, cats, I'll check you all later.